Hey guys, this is an explanation of how to light a Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner, right here, should come with a piece of rubber tubing already attached to it. You connect this piece of rubber tubing to a gas outlet. These are the ones that say gas on the top with the blue caps. There are three controls for a Bunsen burner. The first is this valve for the outlet. When it's perpendicular to this nozzle, either way, to the left or the right. So this is closed, and that is closed, and it's open when it's parallel with the tip, with the opening. And that's it. It's just either open or closed. That's the fuel supply. The next control is this thumb screw on the bottom of the Bunsen burner. What this thumb screw does, it's a needle valve, it controls how much fuel gets to the flame. If it's turned all the way in as you're looking at it clockwise, it's closed, no fuel can get to the flame, and there is no flame. The only thing to be aware of is that if you back this out all the way, now you really have to try to do this, but if you're adjusting the flame, let's see there's a flame on there already, and you're adjusting this, if you keep on backing it out, see how much I'm doing, this is quite a bit, but what eventually will happen is the needle valve will come out, and now there's flame shooting out the bottom, and we don't want that because your hand's right there. So to avoid that, and to also start with a good approximation of the settings, whenever you first get your Bunsen burner, what you want to do is take that needle valve and turn it all the way in clockwise as you're looking at it from the bottom. So just to where you feel it stop. So now it's closed, and then back it out about 360 degrees, one turn. Something like that. So that's a preset, and we'll adjust that in just a minute. The next adjustment adjusts how much oxygen from the air gets to the flame, and that's this gap right here. Now, and you control this by adjusting the height of this column right here. The larger the gap, the more air, and thus the more oxygen gets to the flame. Now, if you do open this all the way, it will come off, but that's not really a big deal because most of the time the flame just goes out. However, if you start with this gap too large, you'll never get the flame lit. It basically blows itself out. So a good starting point is to make the gap between the top of the threads and the top of this gap here about a dime's thickness or so, let's say, and we'll start from there and adjust it after that. All right, so we have our tube connected to the gas supply. We have our needle valve turned all the way in and backed out 360 degrees. You have about a dime's thickness between the top of the threads and the top of the gap. Okay, we're ready to light it. We have three different ignition sources here, either matches, barbecue lighter, or a striker, whatever you feel comfortable with. When you're ready to go, turn on the gas and light the flame. So now we're going to adjust this flame. What we're looking for is a bright blue inner cone. I can tell by looking at this that this needs either less fuel or more oxygen, probably a little bit both. So let's start with the oxygen. To give it more oxygen, we're going to increase this gap down here. So we're going to open it up this way. So now I'm starting to get a bright blue inner cone, but it's still, I think we need less fuel. So now when we're looking at this needle valve, because we're looking at it from the opposite side, instead of turning it what looks like clockwise to tighten it, we're going to turn it what looks like counterclockwise to tighten it. So there I go. Now that is pretty much what I'm looking for. Bright blue inner cone. And by the way, the hottest part of this flame is the tip of that bright blue inner cone right there. That's usually where you want to put anything when you're using a Bunsen burner to heat it up. When you're finished with a Bunsen burner, all you do is come to the gas supply, turn it off, put it away, be careful. It's not hot down here, but it will be hot up here, so be careful until it's cool. And that's all there is to that.